Oh, Mr. John, how you doing, brother?
Hello, my
Yeah,
brother.
how you doing? My very good
I'm very
friend.
good. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're very audible and I can see you.
Yeah, sorry for the mess up on the time.
Yeah, I know.
The
See,
UK time and GMT is a bit confusing.
I
Yeah.
understand, right? And that was, I think, moving forward, I would actually be precise next time. I was just, I was too short for the 4 p.m. I didn't even exact the fact that, oh, we might be, far away, and I should have just, prompted my speakers that, okay, it is 4 p.m. UK time. And yeah, that's not your fault. At least you're here, and thank you for knowing this. So let me just invite the second speaker that we kick off, if that's okay with you. All right.
Sure.
Oh.
It's okay.
Honorable Lekan Adejare, I just sent you an invite. Please accept. Then naturally you pop up. So just accept like that, please. It's been a while, John.
Yeah, it has been really a long time since we met.
It's been a while. Yeah.
The PLP program, 2019.
Yeah. But I've always been following your works online, and I would say thumbs up to you. You've really been, putting in the work in the motherland, and you've proven to be the son of the soil. And I think that's the reason why I feel you are the proper voice to be heard on a topic like this. So while I wait for this next speaker, so I wouldn't want to be repeat myself, So let me just, okay, yeah, now I can see you. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening. I'm going to do the proper introduction before we delve into the topic. So permit me to introduce this amazing, brilliant, vibrant guest on board. And I'm going to do the introduction by punctuality. So Mr. John will be the one to kick off first. So this is John Youhannes Magok. This is my brother from South Sudan, but representing right now, he is currently the expert. He's currently an expert on mineral resources development at the African Union. Mr. John and we have an history of being invited by the president of Egypt to represent the 100 brightest youths across Africa in 2019. That's courtesy His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the president of Egypt. And that was when me and Mr. John Youhannes have formed a bond of brotherhood. Actually, intellectually, we respect ourselves. And if I would remember, if my memory serves me right, Mr. John and I shared an intellectual relationship when I was releasing my second book. He actually wrote a commentary on my book. Can you remember that, John? And also, after that, he also released his first book, which also went viral in Africa, which I also actually penned and also accredited the fact that, oh, this man is actually very, very brilliant, young chap and, expert in at the African Union. So you're welcome on board, John Youhannes Magok.
Thank you.
And this is Honorable Lekan Adejare. Honorable Lekan Adejare, actually, there's a slight mistake on the flyer. He was a former board member of the Ogun State Television. He was also a one-time councillor. That's at Obafemi Wodi, yes, bros, right?
You're right.
Local government in Ogun State. He has also served as the president of Students' Union at colleges of education. And aside from that, you see, to have topping on his introduction, Mr. Lekan Adejare and I met during my varsity days, and this is a man that he has always been outspoken. We formed a bond when he discovered the fact that who was this stubborn boy that's always hearing his opinion? I think there was a time he just called me down. Guy, come here. What is about you, this boy, that you're always bold to always talk your mind and all? And from there, we share the ideology, and I realized that he has always been a vibrant, active voice when it comes to political standpoint and all. So you welcome Honorable Lekan Adejare.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, before I introduce us to the topic, let me introduce you to this space. As a proper African child, when you come to my house, I'll give you a talk. So this is Street and Cathedral. Street and Cathedral is an idea that I stumbled upon, given to me by God, and I believe I stand to believe that this is one of the most relevant platforms that we need, that is essential for the African mind and development as it is right now. You know, considering the critical point we find ourselves of our African realities and predicaments, the streets represent the voice of the people. The voice of the people. When I mean voice of the people, I realize that the media has always been shining the camera lights on supposed celebrity and icons in the society. But question is, are the celebrities only the members of the society? I know for one, members of the society, my friends, colleagues, and experts that I know that are very, very brilliant and vital like you guys, that also are members of the society. And our opinions matter, if you would agree with me. So I believe we shouldn't wait till the third word celebrity on us before we can actually air our opinion on matters that directly affect us. Matters related to policies, education, development, you know, and all. So I really believe that we are not, as a matter of fact, questionably, the word celebrity can be questioned when we weigh intelligence side by side, I've this with it, because I know for one, many intelligent people that I believe that when these people speak, we would question why some people attack celebrities and these people are not deserving to speak, just like you guys. And the cathedral there is actually a spiritual alignment. A respect to everybody's spiritual alignment. I came across, I picked points and I chose the word cathedral because I come from a Christian background. But that doesn't mean that we could not have a electoral relationship. If my memory serves me right, I have had on this platform where a traditional worshiper spoke, we were on the same platform, and a Muslim person. So I think religion is one of those things that African youth should surpass when it comes to intellectual conversation. And this terrain is a safe terrain for us to actually have that kind of conversation, regardless of being biased or being separated. So, gentlemen, you're welcome officially to Streets and Cathedral.
Thank you.
So, the topic is need for a mental exodus. I know when I said the topic, it would have posed a lot of questions, you know, and I know you guys might have done your research, but I'll give you a background, you know, thing that led to that topic. Then I'll now throw the question forward to us. I realized that what is going on in Africa right now, agitations, the youth, when we talk about food insecurity, displacement, violence across, and people agitating for freedom and all, we can see it playing in South Sudan, Nigeria, Kenya, you know, everything is interplaying. As a matter of fact, where I'm right now, UK, there's also an agitation going on, protest and all. So we are seeing at the world right now, youth and people trying to come out and say, no, things are not right, things are not, you know, okay and all. People are airing their opinion and all. So there should be a paradigm shift from what used to be the status quo, expected status quo, to what we should look forward to. Now, both of you are in the system, and this is why I called you, both of you. John is currently in the African Union. Mr. Honorable Lekan Adejare is currently involved in Nigerian politics. Now, I believe everybody is right, and this is my explanation. You see, the chicken or the ducks, they are right when they look afar, look at the eagles and say, why are the eagles flying so high? What point are they trying to make? Do they want to kill themselves? Why are they flexing? Why are they showing off? They don't need all these things and the stress. The eagles are also right when they look down on the ducks and say they're settling for less. Why are these people comfortable with mediocrity? So the question is, from what angle are we understanding how things are playing out from? You know, if you understand from the dogs, you will blame the eagles and say the eagles are doing too much. If you're also listening from the point of view of the eagles, you will say, oh, the dogs are settling for less. So, based on contrast, there's a noise going on there. There's a background noise. Okay. So, Mr. John, that question now, I want to throw it open to you. It's going to be an open question before we have a direct question. In what aspect do you feel at this critical point of our African reality and predicament, the African youth need a mental exodus, and in what areas do we need that paradigm shift to shift our focus from what used to be to what it should be?
First of all, thank you very much, Imeji, for this invitation to your platform. I also salute the honorable in the platform who is joining me in this discussion. It's a pleasure to share our experience in this program, Street and Cathedral. So initially I thought we may be quoting some Bible verses, but thank God you direct me to African affairs, which I'm very passionate about, and being an African, it is a reality for me, and it is what I envision for our continent. So it's good today we are talking about the need for a mental exodus, and I like the word exodus, and that also take me back to the Bible that I try to avoid, but to have a starting point. And if you refer to the Israelites when they decided to move out of Egypt, there was an occasion. It was in that, but God led them to promise. It took them years. So it is not really that different from Exodus. If you see all,
I'm sorry to pause you. There's a background noise going on there. I wouldn't know where it is coming from. So maybe we should just station our phone and make sure that there's nothing, Okay. Now,
yes.
Continue.
So if you see agitation is happening, it means something is wrong, something needs to be changed. And that starts with our mental being and how we are thinking, how we are seeing our continent. And if you look around the population of the continent, majority are young people, majority are women. So we can say Africa is a young continent, but it's young people. So it means there is a greater opportunity for us to envision the Africa we all want, but we have to start by oneself. We have to start with ourselves as young people. Like what do we really need for this continent? The first thing is to believe in the vision that was put forth by our forefathers. Yes, they fought. That fight, it is, giving us that freedom as a liberated country. We are living in a country that are independent and without colonization. That is a start, and it remains a history. But today, it is still we need to fight poverty. Still we need to fight, living. So how do we start? Start from how do you liberate yourself as a person? And you start from having knowledge. Today we are using English. We are using this platform called Instagram. If not us being curious of knowing all those technology, we would not be able to have this discussion today from far places where we live in. But we took it upon ourselves to learn this technology, to make outreach to each other and come together and discuss. So it means it comes back to us on what the Africa wants.
Okay.
Africa wants us to believe in the vision.
Okay, now before we delve deep, I'll take that as your opening speech. So I want Honorable Lekan also to give me his opening speech about because now I'm going to be splitting the question after this opening speech. Why you take from the from the don't worry, you take from the African consensus and I mean for perspective. Now, Honorable Lekan Adejare, please how would you say now that the Nigerian youth need a mental exodus? And what is your stance from that mental exodus, the paradigm shift they need from what it used to be to what it should be?
Thank you, Dimeji. Mr. Magok, I really appreciate you. Thank you for this platform and thank you for inviting me on your platform. The issue of mental exodus in the Nigerian youth perspective is, at least in African youth perspective, don't let me use Nigeria as a case of study. In Africa, I would like to quote someone, Miles Moreau. He said, and I quote. He said, anyone that fails to leave his comfort station is definitely going to live an envelope life. Once you fail to think out of the box, you allow other people to dictate who you are to you. That is the area where I say that the African youth particularly need not to listen to the dictation of the Western world of who we are. Every African youth know the problem of Africa. We can only provide solution to our problem. It is not the Western world that will give us solution to our problem. We are the one to provide solution to our problem. That is the reason why we need to think out of the old beliefs that without this set of people, we cannot become what we want to become. No, it doesn't work that way. It first makes confidence, character, and communication. Once you have those three C's, the African youth are good to go. We can compete with anybody in the world. So personally, I can tell you categorically that African youth are the most talented youth in the world. No doubt about that. We are using the platform today. It is not, all this social media platform is not invented by any Africans. But when you look at the demographic, the statistic of today, you see that the Africans are moving, the African youth are moving fast and vast in terms of social media.
Fast and vast.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take that as an opening statement because I'm now this is me now throwing you into the lion's den. I hope you guys survive.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. John, you go first. This is where you pray you are Daniel, but don't worry, you will survive. So, your job description, and we need your practical experience here. I want you to be as honest as possible. It says you are expert on mineral resources and development. So, Mr. John, you agree with me that the ex-president of Liberia once said, that Salif Johnson said, Africa is not poor, but poorly managed. So in that light, we have a country right now that is facing, a disgrace, a global disgrace. That is Congo, the Republic of Congo, when it comes to mineral resources exploitation. So how has this actually been? What are the interventions right now actually to save those youths at the verge of trying to survive, but also they are the one actually powering almost all the technology using that the world is using right now. So at what are the interventions that are in place right now in that dimension? Before now, and I want you to address those youth as we're talking about mental exodus, because these people are fighting for survival. Poverty is already, at their breast right now. So how do you now actually initiate that paradigm shift for them?
Thank you very much for that question. Indeed, you are putting me in a corner, but I will try to bounce back. And then it's good that you're also bringing it closer to the topic that I'm currently working on with the African Union Commission. To be clear on the start, I'm not representing the union as we are speaking, but I'm representing myself, an expert, and also a mining engineer. I spent 7 years studying the field. Luckily enough, I'm part of the African Union Commission currently, but also I do understand the challenges, the challenges that our continent is facing when it comes to mineral resources development. And you may, and sometimes it hurts us to see a country full of mineral resources going through a lot of challenges. Especially insecurities, conflicts, rebellions, and a lot of things that is happening. And then if you see that example also applied to other countries, it has country by size, but the same thing that is happening in Congo is happening in many African countries. Just to give you what is the African Union Commission is currently doing in governance related to mineral resources development. Of course, something that really need to be very clear is that the African Union Commission is a policy organ of the African Union. It is only one entity, it works on policies with member states. Means countries have their laws, how to govern their mineral sectors, because, you know, minerals are geographically located.
Yes.
If you don't have them, you don't have them. And if you have them in the ground, you have to see what are the laws within the country that constitute the legal framework to manage them. So the African Union has the Africa Mining Vision. It is a vision that looking at how we can process minerals in Africa. It is looking at also governance issues, where there is corruption, where there is also interference from different.
I want to believe his network is buffering. That's one of the things we face in Africa, network issues. So, Honorable, are you still there with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. While we wait for John's network to be resolved, I'll take you up with this question, if you don't mind.
I'm with you.
Good. Now, you were.
I get lost somehow. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Continue. Complete your thoughts, please.
Sorry about that. It is the internet.
Yeah. That's one of the problems we're facing.
Yes, all those strategies, including the African Union commodity strategy, they are good strategies, but in real sense, they are still in smart documents in papers. We need them to be actualized in the ground, where it gives young people opportunities. If you go to the DRC today, you find young people are in mines. They are mines in artisanal and small-scale mining. So the policy we are pushing at this level is to recognize those young people who are in those mines, who are using rudimentary tools to take out the minerals, and empower the local community, unless they are part of the value chain, not only favoring big international corporation to come and do the actual mining there. So there must be a balance. Striking that balance where you are attracting investment, but also you are empowering local skills. You are giving those young people opportunity to prosper, opportunity to own business, opportunity to trade with those minerals. This is how, in the long run, we learn experience. We get also technology transfer through the young people of today. They are very smart. You know, we can learn how to use those instruments in the mining sector. So there is a lack of good governance that need to be improved. Once we get it right, we give opportunity for our local communities to take charge of developing their resources. Whoever is coming, it will be in a community or a society that is well informed, who knows what they have. But mostly, sometimes we don't know what we have in the ground, you know. So lack of knowledge is another thing. So we need to keep ourselves with the right knowledge to know what we have and know how we can excavate it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So I believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel, despite the challenges. We can pull it together as Africans.
I'm still coming to cite some examples of what is antecedent that is playing now. But let me take Honorable Lekan Adejare on this question right now. Honorable Lekan Adejare, this is what is currently happening in Nigeria right now. Youth are actually distressed and expressing their concerns related to things that are affecting them. And with your statement that you said we need to think outside the box, don't you think that there is an high rate of unemployment and underemployment playing out as a case scenario in Nigeria? And if you would say someone should actually think outside the box, how can someone think outside the box when they have already been incapacitated on the go? So how do you now actually initiate a need for a mental exodus for someone who is already crippled to work from the jump?
Thank you, Dimeji. When you say, I will not take the word incapacitated. African youths are lion, African youths are resolute, and African youths are go-getters. It all depends on the background and the environment at which you find yourself. The spirit of I can do it. Once you imbibe it, and if your environment influences you on the spirit of I can do it, be optimism. Definitely you'll get there. I don't believe any African youth is being incapacitated. In Nigeria presently, there is agitation. Fine. I've once been on the streets, agitating, protesting from Ogun State, down to Calabar, down to Jos, down to Abuja, even without transport fare, being in the van of newspaper, particularly I'll mention a newspaper brand, The Punch. I'll stay at Iwo Road. I will join the van from Iwo Road down to Abuja, especially during the third time agenda and during the issue whereby the Nigerian colleges of education has to serve for 2 years. And after being served, you'll be given 2 years, level 7, after serving for 2 years as a teacher. So I don't believe anybody is being incapacitated. The opportunity that we feel, most of African youth feel today, is that they look around, there are a lot of opportunities surrounding us, and we don't tap into it. We don't tap into it. I'll tell you categorically, I always love democracy because I was born during the military junta, and I know what it takes to be a youth under the military junta. So, and I believe I'm going to make a change. And to God be the glory today. At least the little I can do, the little change I can make, at least I'm on it, and I'm achieving success on it. Now, Nigerian youth are agitating based on the economic hardship. I will tell you categorically, without being biased, I will tell you categorically that, one, it is better to explain your anger than to express it.
It's better to explain your anger than to express it. How do you mean?
Thank you. You know, when you explain your anger, you see solution. But when you express your anger, you see difficulties. You explain. It's not that everything is not going on well. We understand that. But it's better to explain your anger. Well, that is the system that we adopted during our own time. We explain it to the ministers, we explain it to the president. Everybody in Africa today knows that Obasanjo is one of the powerful former presidents that Nigeria had. But we never express anger. But we explain that this is what we need. We don't need all time. True logical reasoning, steadfastness, and true balancing. What is happening today in Nigeria, sincerely speaking, when you are not informed, you'll be definitely deformed. There are 1,000 programs of youth empowerment on the internet today that every Nigerian youth can easily access. Click on. But the lack of
when you say easily, when you say easily, honorable, are you not being one-sided by the fact that the majority of African, or let me say the majority of Nigerians, are those people that are not actually capable of making use of this internet themselves?
I will explain to you, Dimeji, I will explain to you. Listen, I really love this topic that you bring forward today. See, the point on ground is very simple. It is only when you assess something and you are not getting it right, or you feel that such platform is being biased, that is when you can complain. I can tell you, I'm not speaking for the president, I'm not speaking for the federal government of Nigeria. I'm saying what I know, and that I am also a beneficiary to. As I'm speaking to you, there is Nigeria Youth Empowerment Fund going on. That the minimum you can earn from that fund is 500,000 naira, which is enough for you to set up a poultry farm. But the problem is that we are using internet. Many of us, what we are doing on the internet, we are not looking for information. We are not looking for something that can easily better our system. We are not going for the proper information, whether we are going for this all other social vices on the internet. I involve myself in this matter, and this is a thing that we have to dissect properly. We have in Nigeria, don't forget that we have the empower during Muhammad Buhari regime. We have the empower. I'm telling you, sincerely speaking, many Nigerian youths are applied and collect their stipends every month without going to work.
So you are saying that the corruption...
Wait. I'm not supporting the government. Now let me tell you this, another issue. If you know that the present government is not satisfying you, is not doing what it ought to do, what you need to do is very simple. I would tell you that 98% of those that are protesting today don't have voters card.
Is that a fact, a verified fact, or just a speculation?
I'm telling you, this is a verified fact. Even if they have voters card, they don't vote on election day.
Okay, Honorable Lekan Adejare, please.
You can wait, please. Let me land.
You can go back to John. Okay, but
wait. Let me land, Mr. Dimeji. Let me tell you one thing. I'm not saying everything is right, but if you know a government is not satisfying your interest, it is 4 years. We have done that. We sent PDP off our state. We sent PDP. We started it through voters mobilization. But the way people are moving out, the voting apathy is becoming high because they believe that even if you vote, your vote won't count.
Are they right? Are they not?
They are not. They are not.
Someone
I would tell
said you sound like a Nigerian politician. Please, he's a Nigerian politician, not like he is a proper Nigerian politician. So
they are not. Let me tell you this image. They are not right. They are not right. It is something that I've practiced. I was in an opposition party. And as powerful as they were, nobody induced us with money before we joined politics. We joined politics with a mindset, with a determination and a vision, with good character.
Okay, Honorable, please hold on. I'm still going to come back. I know you want to say a lot. I know. People are ready. See, I'm coming back to you. Because we are taking this from the two perspectives. For you that are just joining, most especially you, Yusuf, I said something for my opening. I said everybody is right. And you would agree with me with this analogy. I said the dogs are right. When the dogs look up at the eagles and say, what is the point the eagles are proving? Why will you fly this high? Do you want to kill yourself? Can't you just come down here and come and eat and live peacefully? And the eagles are also right. When the eagles look down on the dogs and say that these people are settling for less, are we not birds? Why can't they fly and push themselves off their limits? So I have come to one thing in my life that everybody is right. But what point, from what angle are you actually seeing things from? So, Mr. John, let me take you from this right now. You said something from your word, which is absolute. I agree with you. And I'm going to throw this open to both of you. So from the African perspective, take it to the country perspective. You said Africa is a youth continent. It's a young continent. So 60% of African population is youth. So now the problem, one of the problem, and one of those agitation we have is the youth participation in active roles, political roles and electoral process. Like even in the African Union right now, if you check the active roles that are there, I want to believe that, as you said, Africa is a young population. The population of those roles are not actually dominated by youths. You would agree with me. This is a research I've made. And also you, Honorable Lekan Adejare, you would agree with me. Active roles and position, political powers in Nigeria are not seated by African youth or Nigerian youth per se. So let us talk about this. How can we be a young continent but not be a young leading continent at the same time? So, Mr. John, please take it from there. Take it from the narrative of the African Union you have. What is the artist there that is responsible for it? And let us also infuse some kind of mental exodus. Is it the problem of an African youth? Do we want to blame them? Or is it a problem of the fact that the old ones do not actually also want to leave power for the young ones?
Yes, I think we need to start by the quote, African solution for African problem first. So if we see it as a problem, we need to solve it first, right? I like the analogy of thinking outside the box. Why don't we think without the box? Why do we really need to restrict ourselves with the box? So it means if we see opportunities as young people, we have to go for it individually. Policies are there, and I saw one comment that said that policy implementation is an issue.
Yes.
Are you there you are educated,
you
know how to reach out for policies, you know who made those policies. Have you ever questioned what is the problem for you to find an answer? If you come to the African Union, yes, it's very clear they have 35% of the employees to be young people by 2025. But who is advocating for implementation of that, right? So we need to question what is there. You go to all our countries, there is youth policies, youth development policies, youth fund, there is affirmative action. What are we doing to go out and get what we deserve as a young people? So it comes to us. It doesn't matter who is there, old person or young person, they may not care that much. But our agitation is positive if we use it right. I don't have a problem with being agitated because it is something that pains you. If my shoulder is paining and I'm pointing to my leg, saying that my leg is what is what is paining me, it means I don't know the actual pain in me, right? So it means we as young people, we need to understand our priorities very well and work around common solution, especially when it comes to policy implementation. We just need to be selective. Those are national policies that are targeted young people. Let me take you back to my country in South Sudan. South Sudan, of course, we don't have a national policy, but we pushed for that until last year. The parliament adopted the national policy for youth development. For 7 years, we don't have any policy. Go to our parliament. What we managed to use is to use the young people in different political parties. We have a parliament that is composed with political parties. Some of them are young, but we approach those caucus that have young MPs to pass our agenda. So it is a way of finding solution. So of course, yes, we are good in saying this one is not done for young people, this one is not done for young people. Even those who are in power, when they started, they were young, by the way. They didn't start even in their age. Potentially, they are clinging to power, but they started at a young age. So what prevents us to come together and say, this is the priority that we want as young people, this is the priority that our countries need, this is the priority that our continent know. And it goes back to our knowledge. Do we really know what is the policy that we want to pursue? So there's a blame both sides. You shouldn't just throw, a blame out.
So in your own words, this is what you are saying.
Yeah.
That you cannot expect a fair play if you cannot. It's like you are saying that if you have an intelligent enemy, you don't choose to be stupid. That's the summary of what you just tried to say. So now I can see Honorable Lekan Adejare is agreeing with you, and I think I'm amidst politicians right now. That's what I would. Yeah, but I love the fact that you are diplomatic, and to be honest, you've said things that I agree with. But some don't just sit well with the fact that with some questions I have here, not me. I'm just a journalist. You see, my work is this. When I ask a question, some of my friends are for it, some of my friends are against it. Me, I am just for my friends. So don't worry about my own opinion, okay? As I'm concerned, I'll be neutral as possible and I'll be professional as possible. So, Honorable Lekan Adejare, back to you about the youth participation in politics, in leadership role in Nigeria. This is one of those things that we are also agitating for, that, okay, we don't want a situation whereby not too young to rule will be more like we're patronizing you. It should be a fact that you should know that the country itself cannot actually run without people that are pushing the economy. And you know that when you push economy, you are using energy. And those people who have the energy are the young population. So what do you have to say about this, Honorable?
Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, Dimiji. In fact, this is a very brilliant and intellectual discussion. I will first of all advise the youth to know one thing, that the mind is like water. When it is turbulent, it becomes challenging. But when it is calm, there are solutions. Every African youth, I repeat, every African youth knows the problem. Every African youth are complaining about the problem, but few African youths are working for solution.
Well, let me repeat that. That should be on billboard. Every African youth know the problem. Yeah. Every African youth complain about the problem. Only few are working to solve the problem. by Honorable Lekan Adejare 2024. Honorable Lekan Adejare and John Magok 2024.
I will tell you sincerely speaking that I am not disturbed. I am not against any form of agitation. I'm a big time agitator. Even in politics today, all my leaders know that Lekan is a stubborn politician, a radical one indeed. Despite being in politics, whatever is not right to me. When my mind convinces me that certain policy is wrong, no matter how beautiful it may look to me. When my mind convinces me that, and you never see me be a party to it, it's better I stand my way and go back to the drawing board and strategize how to conquer this wrong or unpopular policy. That is the system. In politics, a game. Politics is a game. When you play your card, I play my card. You understand? It is a place where you have to look, you must always think out of the box and look for solution. But the problem is that there is a mindset in African youth that these are elites, political elites, are leaders. They have that mindset that those people will not allow them to see the front. They have the mindset that those people will not allow them to have their own, to get to the pinnacle, to the leadership seat. That mindset has retarded many African youths to an envelope situation.
Will you blame them when
let me tell you one thing, I will blame them.
Political offices have been made so expensive.
Mr. Dimeji, listen, I will blame them. Let me tell you this for free. You see, power is not served like a cat. And we should know one thing in Africa, that a typical African society is a monarchical setting, whether you like it or not. Do you know that?
I'm with you.
It's a monarchical setting. Monarchical in the sense that if a king did not demise, another one cannot be enthroned. Understand? And the African youth are looking at it from that perspective, that this leader we cannot move them until they are willing to move or until they get tired. No, it doesn't work that way. In your country, if you have democracy being practiced in your country, you have an opportunity. It may not work in one day, but if you persist, perseverance, resoluteness, steadfastness, my brother, you will get there. But the problem is that the process, political process, that African youth has to involve, you will say that majority of African youth will just look at it with levity without pushing further to get further. Let me bring you to an history. I'll use myself as an example. Do you know when I graduated, I contested 3 times before I won a seat. I contested 3 times. I ran for 9 years before I could be able to become a councillor. Do you know that inside my nuclear family, a meeting was called on me? That after I've been a graduate, that I've been making money, I've never do this in the family because I'm this, especially during festive period. But do you know that today, all the festive period that they are complaining about is being done in my compound, including the extended family? That's about focus. Fine, things are not right. We can only get it right. The present generation can only give a solution to the present generation. You cannot expect an old generation to give us a solution to our own generation.
Another salient point. You cannot expect an old generation to give us solution to the current generation.
It is not possible. It is not possible. They have done their own. They are moving. But there's no way you will say that their experience doesn't matter. You have to learn from them. Where did they get it right and where did they get it wrong?
But this politics is now culturally infused, which I don't think we have that time to be playing our card in such a way. Africa is at the point, Nigeria is at the point where we need we need to pace with other countries. So if we are struggling with old ideologies, old wagons and new wagons, don't you think we are drawing back and lagging behind?
No. I would disagree. Let me tell you one thing. President Traore, you can see what that man is doing in Burkina Faso. As young as he is, a military man.
Mr. John, are you still with us?
President Traore is a military man. And you see the wonders he is making. He's not acting like a military officer. He's acting like a civilian. Look at the kind of luxury this man is doling out to people that need these services. And look at the kind of lifestyle he is living. Because he is of this generation, he's not of older generation. But it took his time. It took his time before becoming president, head of state, rather. That which I'm not advocating for military junta.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not advocating for that, and I don't even pray for that in Africa. Sincerely speaking, I'm not a party to that. I'm not a fan to military junta. I detest them, but I'm talking about an individual.
Just older generation with newer generation.
Yes. I'm talking about an individual. Now, let me tell you one thing. In Nigeria today, you see a youth that instead of that youth, you find a phone with a youth. If you take that phone from that youth and check what the youth is doing, the young lad is doing on that cell phone, the young lad will be on Facebook, on Instagram, on all the social media, and that is not even the problem. When you look at the site at which this young lad is solving from, you see that it doesn't have anything that will affect his or her life positively. Now look at the view now. We broadcasted this program. We only have 5 views. I can say it from here. You understand? Let it be something. How can I put it? Let it be something secular. Something
entertaining.
This is entertaining. Frivolous. I love that. You will see a lot of people coming online.
Well, I understand.
That's where we are getting it wrong.
Let me push this question to John. I'm sorry, I know, but because of our limited time, I want us to also, balance the argument very well. John, are you still with us, please?
Hello, Dimeji. I'm really sorry. My electricity went off.
Okay, it's fine.
And I
as long
tried
as you can
to
talk.
open my video. I only saw my keys. Okay. It is a dark place here.
That's one of the problems in Africa.
I will continue without the video.
Okay, that's one of the problems of Africa that Honorable Lekan will not talk about, but we are still coming to it. But now, my question is for both of you right now. But before I ask the both questions, I want you to take this specifically, John. A united Africa. Is it a dream that is going to arch, or sincerely it is dead on arrival?
I'm a strong believer that united Africa is possible with the right mindset and the right determination. We need to be serious about it, and we need to acknowledge the fact that we have successful histories when it comes to free movement. People are moving freely, even within the ECOWAS. The East African community are moving freely. You go to the Southern Africa region, they are moving freely. Those are the realities for the United Africa we want, where we can move without visas. So we need to acknowledge those success and double up on those to be a reality for us to move within the continent. Secondly, we need the young people to be very positive about our unity, because I see a lot of negativity where people think like, no, our unity is not going to be possible, and so on. We need to avoid all those negative things. There is no continent without problems. Even those who are leading the world nowadays, they have problems, but they are dealing with those problems every day. So it is what we want to do as young people, to think on how we can provide lasting solution for our problem in the continent. And intergenerational leadership is a key in this. It doesn't mean we are saying, okay, we are all young people, we don't need the old folks to be out of leadership. But there is a way. Let me tell you one thing. I had a discussion last year with one member of parliament who is a senior citizen, so old in age. But he said, you young people, you are asking us to leave and you are not prepared, right?
Wait. Please, I want to repeat that.
Yes.
You young people want old people to leave power, but you are not prepared. Continue.
Yes. Please. So I told him, yes, sir, but not all young people are not prepared. This is what I said. I said, I am ready. When we are both of us in the parliament. This is what I told him. When we are both of us in the parliament, I sit next to you. I told him, when you start sleeping and snoring, I will be taking the notes on our behalf to fix this continent. So we complement each other. Your body might not help you at that age, but me sitting to you in the parliament, I will take note while you are sleeping, you know? So let's think of solutions. How can we find solution in our current realities? So the Africa we want, the Africa that is united is possible with the right mindset and determination. We need to be very committed and acknowledge the fact that we have success stories that exist.
Now, this question is for both of you, and our time is 1 hour. And if you are going to spend more than 1 hour, I just want it to be a few minutes, because like Honorable said, the life. I see this program. I purposefully devised it to be an intellectual fellowship every Sunday. I realized that how many twerking videos have you seen from Monday to Saturday? How many nonsense have you listened to? So just know that you are coming to this platform every Sunday to have an intellectual fellowship, and this is one of the solutions, because I know that our reading culture is quite poor. So at least when intelligent people talk like this, like you, like Honorable Lekan Adejare, you've given us vast experiences, vast examples that, some people could sit down and now start making their decision and say, I think I really now need to now start, looking for and that's another call for mental exodus, the positive use of social media and all. So this conversation and this question is for both of you, and it is digital Africa. I call it a digital Africa. Now we can see that the world has gone digital. It's not going; it has gone digital already, and Africa also has actually also adopted this space. But now the question is, are we actually ready for this digital thing, or it's another angle that's going to pose problem of exploitation for African people? So both of you are going to take this question. I think Honorable Lekan should come in first, then John should take it off also. I'll give you both. I'll give you both. Like three minutes.
Thank you, Dimeji. Thank you once again. Africans, we are absolutely ready for this digital economy. If we are not ready, we won't be on this platform. We won't be on this platform. And you can say that every young Africans that are living in a cosmopolitan community, or let's say an urban area, will definitely have access to internet. Whether strong or weak internet, will definitely have access to internet. And I can tell you categorically that today, even in the rural area, they use online banking, which is part of the internet. It will surprise you that you go to a pepper seller in a market, village setup, and you tell a pepper seller that you don't have cash at hand. They will ask you to do transfer to a particular mobile banking. So that shows the level at which Africa is being abreast of the digital economy and digital society. By and large, let us look at the digital aspect in our policy making and in our politics and in governance. I'll tell you sincerely speaking that this digital community has really put our leaders on their toes. Because, for instance, in Nigeria, we have information bill, the FOI, Freedom of Information Bill. We have it in Nigeria. And you can see that even before you say anything, it has gone viral. In what you even prepare to say tomorrow, it will surprise you that you just find it on the internet. So definitely, that is the reason why I'm advocating for the African youth, that nobody is hiding. You can only rig where you are popular. You can only rig an election where you are popular. And the popularity of digital economy is amidst the youth. We are the one using the internet. So before anybody can push you aside, if you really participate in the process of governance, you participate in the process of politics, before anybody can push you aside, if you have your internet, you have your gadgets, and you can prove whatever you are putting online, my brother, you are good to go. You are a governor on your own. You are a president.
Well,
definitely. One thing is that we are not looking from that angle as African youth. We are just like, we are still living in the orthodox world, the old world. So
John,
we are not grabbing this. But presently, Africa is super ready for digital economy. And we even have a Ministry of Digital Economy in Nigeria presently, headed by young Africans. Bosunti Jare, who is the minister.
Great. So, John, please, can you step into that question? Digital Africa,
yes, I agree with the honorable.
And please, if there's anything actually also for us, like honorable said, gave us example of a ministry in Nigeria like that. If there's something like that related in African Union, you can also let us know as well.
Yes, digital Africa is possible. We are living it. All we need to do is to improve, digital access to the population we have in the continent, especially internet penetration. There are some places where there are no, digital facilities. The other aspect that need to be improved is energy access, because all this infrastructure, the digital infrastructure, needs energy, and energy access is still a challenge in Africa. However, the effort that is going on needs to be, twisted around in a way that we want to give it the African face. If you see, even in some villages, there are solar panels, but those solar panels, they come from China and other part of the world. And if you look at those solar panels that produce energy in our villages, they are, they are composition of minerals. You look at copper, cobalt, and lithium, which are basically in our continent abundantly. You talk about DRC previously. Those minerals that are making the solar panel that we use to electrify our houses, they are made of minerals. So that's why your topic is very key in mental exodus on how can we move from the way we think that no, it is not possible, no, it is only the developed world that can do that. No, it is possible. We can do it in Africa. We need the right mindset, and we need to start doing. We need to start, doing and learning. These are the aspects that we really need to prioritize. Yes, we have policies, even that the African Union, the digital policies. What?
Are you there, John? I think his network is buffering. Okay, while we wait for John, this will be the last question, and we call it a wrap. So this is usually what I always ask, and that is the fact that I call it projection. My last question is always.
Hello, Dimeji.
Are you back? Okay, yeah. Complete your.
No, we are talking about digital. We are talking about digital. We are talking about digital. Africa, and those are the challenges that I was talking about. You remember earlier you were seeing my picture and video and everything, but because the electricity went off, you can't see me anymore. But I still managed to come back with the connectivity that I still have. So there is a way of, let's think on how we can improve the accessibility for everyone. We have policies. African Union has digital policies that needs implementation. So these are the areas where one can say, what is my role in those policies? If they don't make sense, come with the alternative. Say, guys, this one doesn't make sense. The alternative is ABC.
So is that
direct our thoughts?
John, is there a department in African Union that actually handles this, this digital literacy?
There is a Department of Education, Science, Innovation, and Technology.
Good.
It deals about all this, and it works with university very closely in promoting innovation and technology. And there's also programs that target young people.
Someone is saying this. My friend from China is saying this. He says security is major challenge for a digital Africa. They also make comment that our infrastructure are not fully developed for a digital Africa. I think this is what we've been saying since about our, now you've highlighted the problem, and we need that mental, shift, that paradigm shift for us to now start initiating change in those aspects that we can actually see. So you made a salient point, Femi, and you are also on track with what we've been discussing for the need of the mental exodus. And this will be the last question, and I want us to call it a wrap. My last questions are always come in the form of projections, but I'm going to attach it. I'm going to attach that projection with something that also is more like a salient issue going on in Africa, and that is the fact that people are also saying that Africans are not inventing. It's more like it's a consuming site. The Peugeot come here, consume sites, Benz and everything. We need to start inventing and also patronizing that our invention so that we can actually use it to build our economy. Now, this is actually a mental exodus as well. So how can we also now shift that consuming mentality to that invention mentality, and we now make Africa also great, assist African businesses in line of invention, push the African narrative to becoming a global player and contender in global economies. We don't want to be consumer site anymore. We want to also invent. So let this be your closing remark while you talk about it, and give us your closing statement. So if you would first do the justice, John, let us start the way we started. So if you come in, John, then Honorable Lekan will come in last. Are you there, John?
Yes. Thank you, Dimeji, for this opportunity and having this platform to share our experience. I will conclude by saying we need to promote African solution for African problem first. And that will give us the Africa we want. The Africa we want is start with you by creating this platform, and start with us and the honorable out there and those who are joining online. It is possible. Let's just come together and do it one step at a time. I'm sure in 50 years we will see the continent in a different place. Let's not just exit the continent and believe there is a greener pasture somewhere else.
What's your projection? What's your projection in the next 10 years? How do you see the African youth? Or what's your projection like in the next 10 years? Do you actually see a changed Africa for the better? Or you feel if we move in this direction, things will go better? If we don't move in this direction, things might go extremely worse. So what is your projection?
If we continue in this current rate in next 10 years, and that is a witness, I believe we will survive the next 10 years and we come back to discuss. I believe in the next 10 years, Africa will have, an opportunity to move freely. There is a free Africa where you can move within the continent freely. Secondly, I believe in trading among ourselves, whereby we can trade with goods and services we have in the continent. I do believe 100% in the next 10 years we'll be able to do those two things. Moving freely without any restriction, where you can have your passport and go to any country without visa, and also trade with your goods and services. But also we need to bring the young people along with us. And young people are awakening, and I believe in the next 10 years, young people of today will be in charge of our continent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Honorable Lekan Adejare, please give us a closing remark and also make comment on those things that you said. And if you need me to repeat something,
I would like to make a comment on your assertion that Africans are not inventing, they are consuming. I disagree with that. When you say Africa states, not Africans, okay, it's better you correct that.
All right.
You see, most of Africa's states are not producing, they are consuming. I will agree with you 50% or 60%. But when you say Africans, I will disagree totally. Because I can categorically tell you that our exploits in Western world, the African exploit in Western world, they are doing wonders. They are inventing and bringing it back to Africa. It is these white people that will take them out. After trading, they invent, bring it back to Africa, and rebrand it as if it's from the Western world. That's the problem that we have, in that we allow other people to dictate and determine who we are. So that's we shouldn't allow to happen, especially the upcoming generation. We should define ourselves the way we are, not the way people see us. So don't let anybody place on the statistic table that we always think that we are below. No. I totally disagree with that. So that is that. In the next 10 years, definitely, sincerely speaking, with the way Africa is moving presently, in the next 10 years, you will see the giants of Africa. You will see the giants in Africa. And you see the giants being played by Africans. This can only happen when we have a positive mindset. And we should also know something, that before Americans got their independence in 1774, they have passed through turmoil, through difficult time. And once you are not having a problem, if you are not having a difficulty in every day, every week, every month, definitely you are not developing. There's no development. If a development is going to take place, there must be pain. And we must be very, very patient and very, very determined and conscious that there is no gain without pain. So we should take our time to look for the solution of Africa and work on the solutions for Africa. So the younger generation are waking up, they are moving fast and vast these days. And next 10 years, I see Africa competing with the entire world.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I want to say a big thank you to both of you. John Youhannes Magok from African Union himself. I know you're a very busy person. I so much respect you. You've been doing amazing work across the continent, the borderland, and you've proven yourself to be the son of the soul. To Honorable Lekan Adejare, he has been my elder brother. He has been someone who I respect so much, and he knows it. I also appreciate you because I know you're a very busy man, for you to take your time out to set time aside for this kind of intellectual conversation. You've also proven yourself over the years that you are a true son of the soul. To all of you that have been joining, have been following Street and Cathedral, those of you that have also contributed yourself, being guests on this platform, I want to say a big thank you to you. The concept of mental exodus is actually shifting mindset from one of despair, complaint, to one of empowerment and hope. And our two speakers have addressed the root causes of the challenges, and they provide opportunities for us to participate and also for us to gravitate towards positive change. I'm still your host, Mr. John. Next Sunday, we are going to have interesting guests as usual. And I think the guys coming from next Sunday, they will be from China. I have Femi from China, and I have Lai from China. He's a DJ. Tomorrow, next week might be some sort of a party time for us. We'll have music except because of the DJ, but we'll have intellectual conversation as well. So wait for the flyer so you see the topic. This is me saying you should have a very, very lovely week ahead. Always join every Sunday 4 p.m. for this intellectual conversation. Like I said, how many twerking videos have you seen from Monday to Saturday that you can't just spare 1 hour on Sunday for you to listen to bright youth? I'm going to be bringing interesting youth, my friends, on board. Bright youth, for you to now understand that we cannot just be using social media for entertainment. We can actually be using social media also for enlightenment, educating, and also to inform ourselves of our realities and our predicament. I'm still your boy, Dimeji Shudeke. I will see you next Sunday. Thank you very much. Amazing guest.
Thank you very much, Dimeji. Have a good evening.
Cheers.